Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Definitely appreciate the support. Let's get into another video. So, I have this comment on the screen. Shout out to SBX Prols. You guys can read what he said. Pretty cool stuff. So yeah, I guess, we kind of got to grind up to MVP or Legend or whatever. And I'll show you 3 games in the MVP category. So, I'm in that category that he was, I guess, trying to flame me for. Okay, so it's kind of weird, but I'm in the category that you told me to grind to. So, well, we're going to take a look at 3 games in that category as well, okay? So, here we are. So, I'm running my offense, and this is Z Shallow Cross. You guys should know that. So, I have 3 formations that I run. I run gun, Y slot, then I run gun spread, and then I run Singleback Doubles Flex, okay? And what's funny is, you guys know I run no huddle, okay? And I put a substitution in gun spread to put the tight end in the slot. So that really is gun Y slot. So it's really gun Y slot and gun Y slot. I just have a lot more plays because I have every play in gun spread that I can use. And then I can audible to gun Y slot or Singleback doubles because we have the same personnel. So essentially my scheme right now, I have 13 plays, right? I have 4 audibles from each formation and then the one I come out in. And this is the play I come out in every down, okay? So I made a video on this. Hopefully I should have dropped it by now. I would assume that I will. I think right now I have like 8 videos done. So I got to kind of put them in order and how I want to drop them or decide if I want to drop them at all, okay? So, maybe I won't go over the reads in this particular play because I'm going to have a video on this particular play. I got a lot of videos I got to do today. Anyways, looking at this, I thought, okay, this is cover 0. You guys know the pre-snap read of this. If you don't know how to pre-snap read, go watch my videos on that. And in the video on gun spread Y slot, we have kind of like an alert shot here against cover 0 if we can get the protection down. But I don't think that I went with this the first play because this just looked weird to me. How the user is using the safety here and bringing them down. So I didn't know if he was coming on a pressure and he was manned up, or if he was actually manning this guy up and bringing a pressure. You guys know in MUT and online, guys do all types of weird shit, right? So being that it's like the first play of the game, you kind of want to get a feel for what he's doing. So I don't think I wanted to take this first shot. So I don't remember what I did. Let's see what I did. Okay, I checked into my run, I would assume. So I have a HB stretch. This is from Singleback Doubles Flex. We have HB stretch as a run. We have HB blunt dive as a run. We have a cover 0 beating play, and then we have, what's the other one? Oh, a play action off of this same action. Okay, so the action with both of the runs is we're going to motion our X all the way across and snap the ball when he's right here. Okay, and we have HB like an inside zone going weak side off of this. We have HB stretch off of this, and then we have a play action off of this. And you're going to see everything work in unison in this video. Oh, against MVP players, I guess, right? The players I need to grind to play against because I'm playing against bad players, that type of deal. So anyways, we snapped the ball, so I'm running HB stretch, and we didn't get a big play on the first play, but of course I never mind. I just kind of wanted to get a feel. So there, that kind of confirmed to me that, okay, it really is cover 0. He's just doing something funky here, whatever. So I probably stayed in this play here. I did, okay, and when I saw this, you guys know what Peyton Manning used to do. Catch you off guard, we're just going to snap the ball, right? He used to do that more no huddle stuff, and we snap the ball because you guys aren't ready. Not more so like this. This is more, I'll just go ahead and snap the ball. Let me stop talking. So anyways, we snapped the ball, and I didn't see a flag. So I'm like, dude, I thought I caught him. But anyway, I turned him to a whip route because I just wanted to get the ball out really quickly. And lo and behold, there was a flag. So I don't know if that's kind of like a glitch or if I missed something. But of course, we declined that. So, that further confirmed, okay, this guy was playing cover 0 when he showed me that look, okay? So this is where I check it. Okay, this is the run play from our gun spread play. with the substitution as a tight end, as a slot. And one of you guys asked, what do I do with the action over here on this run play? I have a video that I'm going to make right after this. I have to record going over this running play. And I go over this in that video, okay? And this play is really deadly. So anyways, we get a double team at the point of attack. We're hoping they roll off. They do. I like how the receiver, the X, you can go back and replay that. Well, I guess I put it in here for that reason. Watch how he actually, pins inside to get like the safety, right? He's going for him. You almost want to always leave it to where the corner has to make a play. I remember watching a playoff game, maybe 09, where I think it was the Chargers versus the Jets. And the Chargers ran a play to where they were like in a heavy I formation, and they motioned the receiver in, and they ran like an inside zone type play, and they were to break it off, and that was like the end of the game, right? Because they just had to get a first down. They got a big play. I remember watching that replay over and over again and watching Antonio Cromartie as the corner on the wide receiver. And I watched the blocking scheme, and it was clear as day. It was designed to pick up everybody but him. And you could see him in the box just completely like, I don't want to get involved, right? And LT busts through, and then you see Cromartie at the end of the play catching up to him because, okay, now I'm going to speed up and make it seem like I'm trying to stop the play. But it's like, dude, you're on film in the box, completely disinterested and even getting dirty, right? So I don't know why I brought that up, but I thought that was just very interesting. How they motion the wide receiver in. They just wanted, to get him involved in the box because we're just not going to block you. We're going to use him to, I forgot what they did, help to seal off the edge, or I don't remember. Anyways, this is cover zero, so now I know you're in cover zero, right? So I checked into one of my cover zero plays, and this is the Singleback Doubles Flex cover zero beating play that I briefly spoke on earlier. And all I do is I block the tight end. He's going to come in. I'm going to block the tight end. I'm going to turn him into a slant, right? And you guys, you can pause it right now and think, where do you think I'm trying to attack against cover zero with this? Right there, right? It's my number one goal. If I can get protection, that's where I want to go, right? So I check into that. Check into the blocking scheme, snap the ball. Oh, and I turn him into a curl. So what I'm doing with that, so what I like to do against cover zero a lot is I'm really looking here, and if someone floats into the middle of the field, and sometimes they will do that, like say he's man-to-man on the tight end, and because I blocked him, right, then he has the ability to, okay, I'm not defending anybody, so let me float to the middle of the field, right? And that closes the middle of the field, and I can't throw the post. So in a situation like that where I snap the ball on cover zero and I see someone floating this way, then I'm looking to throw the curl because obviously we're one-on-one here, right? But obviously we're hoping that they don't pin to the middle, and obviously no one did, right? So now I'm hoping I'm good in protection. I am. We float that thing up there, and we get a big play. Now that second receiver in is never supposed to be there. You notice how he's supposed to run the slant. And what threw it off was this guy, the user. So I see what he was doing. He knows how to press at the LOS. He's pretty brave to be doing that while playing cover zero, right? So I applaud his moxie, right? But it's kind of glitchy how he reroutes him up the field, and now he's running like another post, right? So that's kind of irritating. But rest assured, when you run this play, he's never going to be running right up the middle of the field like that, right? So you may say, well, man, you missed an open receiver. No, 100 times out of 100 times, he's not running that route up the field like that, right? So I just was not expecting him to do that. And he wasn't really the read on the play. Anyways, he's running 3x1 nub. Well, not really nub, but 3x1 with a tight end over here, okay? And I believe I'm going to make a video on the playbook I use. I use the Baltimore Ravens playbook because I love all of the different fronts that we can utilize. And this is nickel triple, and it's an excellent front against this formation to stop the runs. And then I run the cop check on the back end. Okay, I made a video on the cop check. I went over what the cop check is all about. It's from Nick Saban. And I told you guys, I don't know how to replicate or imitate the cop check in Madden. But the reason why I show you guys these types of coverages is because I like for it to be like thrown on your mind, so you at least know what it's about, and then maybe you could try to simulate it, right? And then in later Maddens, if you want to look up the cop check, it's available on my channel. You can go check it out, right? But I could not figure out how to replicate it. And, Huddle GG, I think they dropped a video going over this very same check, and they figured out how to do it. All you have to do is man up the corner on the back and user the tight end, the safety on the weak side, and then that's how you simulate it. And I'm telling you guys, this is my #1 coverage against 3x1 nub. It's really good. Okay, so I'm going to make a video on this, and maybe I'll briefly go over this here. He actually runs it, and he actually got a big run there because I think I messed up on the unfortunately we weren't able to get that fumble. I messed up on the D-line slant. So here's another thing too. This is a good thing to know. Sometimes you will run a front against a play from a particular formation like this, right? And they run inside zone, and he busts right up a lane. Okay, don't just abandon that front and be like, okay, I got to use something else. It didn't work, or I got to change the back end because, it's just too open in the gaps, right? A lot of times, a simple shift of the defensive line or a simple slant from the defensive line changes everything, right? You can change the run fits up front by slanting the defensive line, okay? So remember, you can leave it alone. That's one variation. You can pinch them down. That's one variation. You can slant them to the strong side. This is the strong side of the passing strength. The running strength would be over here. I don't want to go too deep. You can slant them this way, slant them that way, and then you can add in all the shifts as well. There's literally maybe like 150 different variations that you can do with the front seven. Okay, I started to make a pressure chart. I don't know if you guys remember that in the OnlyFans days, but that's just way too much work, right? Just way too much. So all I did was, I remember that the slant I did here too. I just slanted this way, and you will see a major change. Also, I brought the front side safety down 5 yards. That's another thing with the game. A lot of times, the same play, the same shift, the same slant, everything will play so much better by just moving a particular player in a better position. Okay, so you could literally sit in practice mode for hours labbing this stuff up, and I hate to have to do that, so I don't, right? I usually just find out during the game while playing the game, right? And I learned about this one that I like doing while playing around with this in the practice field for like 20 minutes, okay? So you will see a vastly, so obviously he's going to run the same play, I think, run the ball. And it's just not there, right? Look at the difference just in a slant, right? The same play, same everything. I just slanted a different way, and he lost a yard, right? So just keep that in mind if you're having trouble with stuff. So anyways, I get back in that same little alignment there. And again, look who makes the play, right? The safety who I brought down 5 yards, right? If he was up here, so pay attention to this real quick, okay? So this is why I threw this in the replay. Okay, I don't like how he runs down like he's trying to run like, I don't know, Albuquerque. I don't know what he's doing there. But anyways, he's in better position to make this play. If he was up here, he may have been more like here, right? And that alley is just there. So little things like just moving a player pre-snap in a different position can change how the defense plays. It's kind of weird. Well, maybe not weird. I could see why it's like that. So anyways, that's completely my fault because I should be playing somewhat more of an outside leverage technique on the tight end there. So, just wait around for the video that I'll drop on this because I don't want this video to be too long. He runs play action, and this is one of the things that happens is he noticed. So he got on the mic too. He was talking shit because he threw an interception here, right? And he goes, "You got to get off that safety," like kind of taunting me because I'm the safety. I'm like, dude, you just threw an interception. So now I know what his thinking was. He noticed that I was the safety one-on-one with the tight end on that little out there. So his thinking was, okay, now I'm just going to send him on a go, and hopefully you sit flat, and I can just throw right over the top of your head. And he got me there, right? Because I saw this climbing across, and I wanted to overtake this. The problem is the route distribution. Okay? That's the thing, football kind of runs in layers. You can't just go deep, right? And then not take into account the other routes that you have. How many times have you seen? I think I made a recent video where I didn't like the play that they have where they're running like double posts in a way to where they're kind of like right in the same area, right? There's nothing wrong with the double post combination, but the particular play that I was speaking of, they're like in the same area. Well, you know, the problem with this is you have this deep little post running to like the same area to where he ends up. So, you know, this player just kind of leaks off and we're just able to get an interception, right? So he did get me on that concept. But, you know, had he have thought a little bit more deeper and maybe did something on the back end, right, to where we leave this area free, then, you know, that would have been a wide open touchdown, right? So, you know, that's why, you know, spacing is everything in football. There's a reason why you don't run routes to the same area. Anyways, looks like cover zero again. So now I know you're pretty much a cover zero player. So here, I mean, you can tell now I'm comfortable in running my cover zero stuff. You know, earlier on in the game, I want to make sure. So I've gotten that technical with stuff. So we run it. Look how I move in the pocket. Throw that deep shot over the middle. And we get a first down. We'll move on. Let's see what else we got. So here I check into the levels divide play. You guys should know the reads on this. We're going to read the front side safety here. If he stays, like in deep half, quarters, then my eyes stay attacking this side. However, if he leaves to deep middle or he rocks down, so it's like single high, then my eyes leave to work this side over here, right? So I don't know if he's rotating. So right here, this is, what is this? Well, he's staying, right? So now my eyes are staying over here, and we're really working off of this defender, right? If he stays underneath, then we want to look for our number 2 coming inside because he's going to hold him underneath. However, if he stays over the top, then we should have our guy running underneath. Peyton Manning has thrown this a million times. Like a million times, right? So look at him. Back turn, running up with the number 2. Guess what? Wide open. There is not a game that you watch with Peyton Manning that he does not throw that route, at least for me. So let's see what I did here. So here, I just love this scheme, guys. So remember, the action, I check into this Singleback Flex, right? And I do the same motion. Remember, we have the HB fletch, stretch off of this motion. We have what I'm running here off of this motion, and then we have a play action off of this motion. And the play action, I remember I made a video on it briefly, going over how I knew I had to make an adjustment with the play. I didn't know what to make it better. I found that adjustment, right? So now it just plays beautifully, okay? And I think I go over it in this video. So anyways, with this play, I've ran this action with the stretch going this way. So now I wanted to run it with this going this way. And it's almost like an inside zone where we should get a double team here. And then we're hoping that we peel off and we get this guy and seal him off. But you're going to see something amazing here. At least that's what I thought. I think this is the play. Watch what happens here. It's real subtle. Maybe I'm too technical, right? Watch how we get a double team. Look at what this guy does here. He blocks this guy, but it looks like because he's bringing himself out of the play, that he just throws him and then comes back and seals off this guy. I think that's what happens here. To me, when I saw that, I thought that that was amazing, right? So with him just pushing and then coming back and sealing him, he actually comes off and seals this guy. And we just get like a money alley with this play. And I think he probably mass shifted this way because he saw this action with the stretch before. But now we're running this way, right? So it's just both of these runs, they complement each other so well. And wait until you see the play action combined with it. Pretty cool stuff. Anyways, we're up 14-0 in the MVP section. The section that I need to grind to and play actually, like, you know, good players. And now it looks like he's in cover 0. Okay, here's the play action play. So also what I do, when I audible to this formation, I make everything that look the same with the quarterback hand signals, right? So what I do is I immediately turn him into a slant, even on the runs, because I want it to look the same. And what we're going to do with this play, we always block the tight end. We turn him into a slant. That's what we do with the play action play, right? So I make the 2 adjustments just like that. And while we're moving into this, I audible him to a slant right away so we can kind of speed this up. And as I motion him, I didn't do it this time because I wasn't on my game. While he's in motion, then I hand signal him to block. Okay, even if we're doing the runs. Okay, so what I do is I check in the 6-man protection, and I have him running a slant and him running the deep post, right? And the slant will change right when he passes over center, right there. He's going to run the slant. He's going to run the deep post. We have this almost like it's a weird razor. I don't even know what you call it. Kind of burst inside, and then he bursts to the corner, and then he checks and release to the flat. And what I do is, it's really a progression read. I just read the deep middle of the field. If it's open, then I'm looking to throw this guy. But if it's not open and it closes, then I look for my number 2. And if I don't like that, then I just dump it off. I really just keep it simple with this play. But what makes this play so much better is the action with the runs, right? If I ran the runs a couple of times before I ran this, a lot of times I can get a really nice play. And also, I cancel the play action fake right at the mesh point, because if you carry it all the way throughout, it kind of messes with the play, right? So I cancel it. You see how I cancel it right there, and now I'm right here in the huddle. And look at that window right there, right? And look how he's sitting flat. Just beautiful stuff. So we're up 21-0. I wonder if this is where he gave it up. I don't remember. Usually when you see something like this, they don't want to play anymore. So anyways, what's that quarterback's name who played for the Lions? I don't know if you guys remember. He ran on the edge line. He's like a commentator now, an analyst. I can't remember his name. And then I guess he probably felt better because a quarterback did that this year, I think it was. Well, now there's a third guy that did it. Our guy here. So I think he was scared of the pressure there. And yeah, he pretty much had enough there. So cool game. So we beat him. I think that's him there. Or maybe the game didn't register yet. I don't remember. So yeah, this is the area, I need to grind to play better players, because obviously I don't play good players or whatever. So this is where I'm at. So yeah, I don't know what to say about that, but it is what it is. So we're gonna move on to the next game. And man, I hope this isn't too long. So I should speed it up until we get to some actionable stuff, I guess. So I think I vaguely remember this game. I think he was playing a lot of tight formations. And I really like to play single high against this stuff. This is me playing a single high with the underneath adjustment, I think. And look how I topped that route. He really missed this right here, but he's rolling out because obviously he's so used to attacking the corner from this formation. One of you guys gave one of the greatest quotes ever, or you quoted somebody else making it. Oh, and he punted too, 4th and 3. Where you said when formations align out, when they're spread out, it's because they want to attack in. And when the formations squeeze in, it's because they want to attack out. And you quoted like a coach who said that, and that's just so true, right? Usually you guys got to think of that. When you're playing against guys who's playing tight formations, I really do think you need to invest your defense into defending outside the numbers, because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to break to the outside. They want more space to run routes to the outside. How many times have you had a guy run tight formations and he's constantly attacking you with inside concepts, right? Usually they're trying to break to the outside, right? And I mean, we saw that in the last play. I'm not going to rewind it, but it seemed as if he just immediately wanted to roll out because he wants to get the angle for the corner, right? Because that's what he's thinking about with that formation. So anyways, I'm setting up my audibles. Let's move on. He's in single high. Oh, I remember this game. I remember this drive was just like a scorching drive right up the field. I'm telling you, the single high is just no problem. If you watch my stuff, single high I don't think you should have a problem with. I would say whenever I get single high, 98% of the time I'm throwing the ball. I almost never run it against single high. Okay, so let's see what I did here. Okay, I checked. We're in Z shallow cross. Hopefully I went over this play in the videos, but against single high, I check them into a comeback pattern. I should peek these guys first, and then the progression is 1 to 2 to 3. So let's see what happens. Okay, right away I like it. Right? The second he steps inside and then he turns like he's going upfield, this comeback's going to be here like 98% of the time. So now I just kind of got to have that internal clock in my head, and we throw that deep comeback pattern for a nice gain. No huddle. He wants to stay in single high, so I'll check into a different single high beating play. We're in curl flats. I'm probably looking at him, second defender in. He will dictate where I go with the ball. Okay, he stays up, so now I'm throwing the flat, right? And the reason why we're able to do that is because he's the outer shell of the coverage. And due to this coverage, he can never drive on the flat, ever. Right? With him playing deep middle. It's just the way the coverage is. Right? So, I mean, he just dictates where we go with the ball. Now, if he would have widened with the flat, then his curl would be wide open. We would just rip it right in there. Right? So go watch my video on the Hank passing concept. I honestly think that should have been the first passing concept I ever made. Because when I ran into that concept and researched it, I thought it really dove into a lot of the nuances of football that I loved in regards to spacing, getting a numbers advantage, etc. So he's staying in single high. So guess what? I'll go into another single high beating play that we have. Levels divide. You guys probably know I don't have to go over this. What I like to do in this play, though, we have the seam read over here. And we have the levels concept over here, but when I know it's single high, I just turn him into a deep go pattern or fade. And the reason why I do that is because if I get a press animation, then I know it's man-to-man, and I know you have no help. He will never be able to make it. So if my guy can win one-on-one, I'm throwing a deep shot for a touchdown. And I do that a lot with this play, right? The only time I keep this into a levels concept over here is when they show double high pre-snap, right? Because then it can truly be a double high post-snap. They may rotate into single high, but then I can just go over here, right? I just keep my options open, okay? So at the snap of the ball, when we see this, we know, okay, they're playing a bail technique, so now my eyes are over here, and I'm just like 100% throwing this comeback pattern, unless the second defender in kind of gets in the window. And if that happens, then we're just working down to the check down. Throw the deep comeback, you get a first down. I believe I'm looking at the timer here. It looks like we're about 60% of the way through, so bear with me, or use the timestamps. That's why I have them. Single high again. He just wanted to stay in single high. So, okay, this is where I checked. So this is one of the few times I ran it. I just almost never run it against single high, so I decided to just go ahead and throw another wrinkle in here because the field is kind of getting a little bit more condensed, right? So I don't think there's much to go over here. We still pick up a big gain. So the offense is moving kind of smooth here. Ran it again because I liked how it worked against that front. He was just really kind of, I can't find the word, but he was just stuck on staying in this formation. There I checked into the dragon concept against a blitz type look, and we get a touchdown. We'll go ahead and move on. So again, look how he's always trying to tighten up. That was just his style. And here I believe he threw an interception. Not going to go over that. And our Mr. player in the league here, division that we're in, second quitter in a row. So that's why I don't have this each game in one video each, because, you know, we just got quitters, right? So, you know, as the guy said, maybe I need to play against better players and grind up to MVP, you know? So we'll go over this last game here. And let's see here. Okay, so I remember this guy. This guy, you know, this is why I love football, though. Football is like a sport where, like, your personality shows in what you do. It's kind of funny when you think about it, right? You think about, I think I've said this before, you think about Lovie Smith, Tony Dungy, right? Those are well-mannered guys, real quiet, kind of reserved. And then you look at their defense, right? Their philosophies and stuff. Their philosophy, the cover two, not really too aggressive, you know, things of that nature. And then you look at a guy like Rex Ryan, real fiery, in your face, I don't give a damn, right? And you look at his defense, and you know they're real aggressive, right? Third down and over 6, you know they're bringing like cover 0 stuff, right? Real pressure and all of that. You look at Bill Belichick, real like mystique, and he's just weird, right? And he's got all types of different stuff. It's just kind of funny. Your personality shows up in your defense and your offense. It really does, right? You run into a guy who's blitzing you every damn down. I can tell you right now, his personality in real life is he's probably a little bit more aggressive, right? It's kind of funny how football, that's just how it is, right? So, you know, I like playing against different guys because you see what different people like to do, right? So he was doing this funky stuff where he was bringing the safeties down, and I knew right here, I knew that this was a play that you called to where you called cover 0. But I had a feeling that he wasn't really playing cover 0. I had a feeling that he was doing this and then audibly or checking out into something else. He just liked to have the alignment like this. Okay? Now, unfortunately in Madden, you can't punish this to the degree that you can in real life. Because in real life, right away, what I would do is I would maybe throw in a run here and there, but I would be looking for a nice big play action bomb, right? Just a play action to hold these guys just enough and get somebody attacking the deep middle of the field, right? The second you sit flat at all, right, we got big play potential. But I can guarantee you in Madden, they're just going to get in the window way too quick, right? But that's okay. So let's see what I did. I think I probably checked into a run, right? First play of the game. I want to confirm that you're not really blitzing from this look. So we know the HB stretch play. Snap it right when he passes by. And when he overplays, this is where I cut back in. And this was a big play waiting to happen, but unfortunately we couldn't make it happen. So this is where I check into the play action play, right? Everything looks exactly the same. Snap, close, rip it in. I'm pretty sure he was pissed here. Oh, this guy, he talked trash at the end too, before he quit. He was mad. And what he said was, "You only run 2 plays. You're a pussy." That's what he told me. I'm like, okay, bro. So, anyways, this is my flanker dig play, and this is a progression replay. I like to run this when I'm kind of confused on what my opponent is running, and this play is good against pretty much every coverage. And it's good because it's a progression replay. So it takes the trying to pre and post snap read out of the window, and I can just read 1 to 2 to 3, right? I don't think I've thrown one interception while throwing this play, and that was because I was fiddling around with the backside concept trying to learn how to throw this. But whenever I'm running it without like practicing something, I just never throw an interception on this play. This play is money, okay? Whenever you have a trick in the bag and you just need something and you don't know what to go to, you go to this play, right? So I'm going to read 1, don't like 2, go to 3. And I think it works in MUT a lot because, you know, a lot of guys, they really love a lot of cover 4 stuff, zone drop stuff, to where they're just getting to their landmarks, and it's just easy to just cut right open into this window with the first in kind of clearing out the user. You will see it when you run this play. Over and over and over again, the user will take that first in like every single time. And you will see this guy will climb right into the window, wide open, if you're forced to not throw to 1, right? Because this guy widens. Look how we check into our run. You know, you gotta love how, that's just so irritating. I have to watch that again. Stuff like this, there's a screenplay in the game that I've been trying to practice where the blocker just doesn't do what he's supposed to do. And if you look at the play, it would be a money play against cover 0, the way it's supposed to be designed, right? But that's just the developers, man. They're the worst. I never really have anything nice to say about Madden's developers, right? Okay, guys, what is he going to do, right? Okay, you would think he would seal this guy off. Anybody with any common sense. This is Reggie Wayne too, right? What's he gonna do? I'm just not gonna block him. It's just like that's the difference between a touchdown winning the game and losing the game, right? Imagine losing the game off of something that doesn't make any sense. So anyways, I was just running cover 3 switch. I've been really loving this defense because, you know, it allows me to get like a full scouting report on what my opponent likes to do, because we don't give up nothing deep over the top, and then we're able to kind of confuse a lot of people and get an interception, and I think we did here. So when he does this, you know, I didn't like this. So I'm like, look, let me man him up on him. You know, it's maybe not too sound on this side because if he goes underneath with him going up, it's a nice little window there, right? But I just didn't like that motion there. I'm like, you know what, let me do something there. So that's what I did. Now, one of you guys asked, why do I do this? Because you said this is not sound, and you are 100% correct. That is not sound at all. But I'm not playing curl flat, right? I changed this guy into a flat, and then I'm playing the deep outer third. Okay, and I like to do that because he plays better with better leverage to the outside to the flat, and it confuses a lot of opponents when they're running like double routes outside the numbers, and the flat kind of stays in the window of this, and then I can really close this off to the outside with better leverage, right? Now, one of you guys said if I were to change this to a safety as a nickel package, then I can just audible this guy to an outer third and him to a flat. I haven't tried that yet, but, you know, I haven't tried it assuming that he just wouldn't play it the way I would want him to play it, right? So maybe I got to try it, but I can almost guarantee you he's going to be way too conservative, and he's not going to close off routes the way you can as a user, right? So maybe that's something I got to try. So, I mean, this is an example. So I think he's confused on what to do here. He's, again, guys, he's probably thrown this little flood concept 3 million times, right? It's just like registered in his head. They're not, a lot of players online, they're not, I can't find the word, proactive. They're not reactive, right? It's like robotic. I know this works every time. Throw the corner, right? You're going to drive off that guy. You're going to hold the flat. Flood right there, right? So, you know, this is why I quite naturally, in this position, I should be outside shoulder of this, right? And riding upfield, and this should be clearing me out. But I'm just going to overtake that, right? So I think that's what happens here. It does. And we intercept the ball. So looking back at this, what I think would be better is how about just moving this guy a little bit over here, or maybe having him play deep half, and then maybe just manning up this side, right? So now I can be a little bit more free in overtaking the outside, completely unafraid of this guy just being wide open, right? But we can see he plays pretty well, that deep middle safety, right? I would like for him to be a little bit more closer here because there's just nothing here, right? But it is what it is. We get an interception. And that's just based off of him not being used to the user being on the outside like that, right? At least that's what I'm thinking. So now that I know that you're not bringing cover 0 and you're just showing this look, now I check into Z shallow cross with the comeback. I'm going to peek this side and see if I like it. Okay, I like it right away, right? Second you man up and you're kind of opened up like that, I'm throwing that comeback like almost every single time. And move forward. Here I check into our 1, 2, 3. Do we like 1? Yeah, 2, no, 3. In real life, 1 would have been good because I think we got like a nice little rub there, and then you would be able to outside throw him and get him to turn upfield. But in Madden, it kind of just not real satisfied with that. Here I check into the play action play. Cancel. Wide open. Look how beautiful that is, guys. Watch how he buys this so hard, right? He just buys that the entire way. And I'm looking for deep middle here. I don't like it because he's closing it. Now we get our eyes in the middle of the field, and it's wide open due to the play action. And I think this was it. This is where he got on the mic. Oh, then I then I went for the check down. Then I did the, the HB blunt dive. Now I'm running the opposite way. We get a first down. And Mr. Cooler by the Lake 8 was pissed off. You run like 2 plays, you PUSSY. I don't know if you guys can go back and count. I'm pretty sure I ran more than 2 plays. But even if I ran 2 plays, you should be able to play a little bit, more effective than the way you played. But, hey, I guess it is what it is. So he quit. He wanted to give his say and leave the game. So that's in the league that I need to climb to play better players. And we got 3 quitters in a row. So I'll leave it at that. I hope you guys got something from this video, and I hope you keep coming back for more, man. Peace.